Hi, welcome back to Learning with ISRAR on ISRAR'S channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating tools in business analytics. That is, simulation models. In this presentation, we'll break down what they are, explore their key components and types, see how they're used in the real world, and talk about the benefits and tools that make them so powerful. So, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll see how simulation can help businesses make smarter, faster, and more cost-effective decisions. So, let's start with defining the word simulation. Simulation is an imitation, means copying something else of a situation or process. We can say, a simulation is a realistic imitation of a real-world process or system used for training, testing, or predicting outcomes. After defining simulation, let's now define what is a model. A model is a three-dimensional exact representation of a thing or of a proposed structure, typically on a smaller scale than the original. After defining simulation and model, now let's talk about simulation model. It involves creating a model, often on a computer, that mimics how something works in reality, allowing you to experiment with it in a safe, controlled environment. After having the understanding of simulation models, now let's see how we use them as analytics tools in a business. Simulation models are analytical tools used to imitate the behavior of real-world systems in a virtual environment. They help organizations test decisions, understand system dynamics, and predict outcomes under different scenarios, without disrupting actual operations. Simulation models are widely used in fields such as supply chain, inventory management, healthcare, manufacturing, finance, and logistics. As of now, we know that a simulation model is a computerized representation of a process or system that allows users to experiment with different conditions and observe results over time. And answers questions like, what will happen if demand increases? What if a machine fails? What if we change inventory policy? What is the impact of delays or variability? Simulation is especially useful when the actual system is too expensive, risky, or time-consuming to test physically. Now let's discuss some of the practical usages of simulation models. It handles uncertainty by simulating randomness in demand, delays, failures or queue lengths. Also tests scenarios safely by testing what-if cases without real-world consequences. Great support in better decision-making, which helps in optimizing cost, inventory levels, resources, and service levels. Finally, it also helps us in visual understanding by showing how the system behaves over time. There are many types of simulation models. Here we will talk about 4 types. Monte Carlo simulation, discrete event simulation, DES, system dynamic simulation, and agent-based simulation, ABS. Let's now discuss one by one. The first one is Monte Carlo simulation model. It is based on random sampling to evaluate risks, probabilities, and uncertainties, and commonly used in inventory safety, stock, forecasting, finance and project management. The next one is discrete event simulation, DES, model. This model systems is used where events happen at specific times, for example, order arrival or machine failure, and commonly used in supply chain, manufacturing and warehouse operations. System dynamic simulation model type focuses on long-term, continuous system behavior and mostly used for policy design, forecasting, and understanding complex loops like the bullwhip effect. Another important type of simulation model is agent-based simulation, ABS, model, which is used to simulate autonomous agents like customers, suppliers, and machines. This model is useful for understanding interaction-based behaviors among all agents. After explaining the types of simulation models, let's now talk about the key components of a simulation model, which are inputs including demand, lead time, process times, costs, and constraints. Logic or rules like inventory policy, workflow, queuing and capacity. Randomness of the data like statistical distributions, normal, Poisson or exponential. And Outputs including cost, delay, stockouts, waiting time and service levels. Simulation models could be applied into different areas and industries, but here are some of the most important ones. Inventory management. Supply chain design. Manufacturing. Healthcare. Finance and risk management. Let's now discuss them one by one. First one is inventory management, where simulation model is used for safety stock evaluation, reorder point optimization, and stockout risk analysis. Simulation model is used to develop supply chain design by using multi-echelon networks, distribution planning, and overcoming transportation delays. Simulation models are also used in manufacturing for production scheduling, bottleneck identification and capacity planning. Simulation models are also used in healthcare industry to find out patient flow, staffing levels, and bed allocation. Another important application of simulation model is in finance and risk management, which mainly involves investment risk modeling and cash flow forecasting to mitigate the risks in the business. After knowing the application of simulation modeling in different areas and industries, now let's identify the benefits of simulation modeling. It helps in reducing cost, increasing efficiency, improving service levels, minimizing risks and enhancing strategic planning. For analytics professionals, it is very important to have familiarity with popular simulation tools, which are Analytic, Arena, Simul8, FlexSim, MATLAB or Python simulation libraries, and Excel Monte Carlo models. In conclusion, I hope this video has provided you with a clear understanding of simulation models and their practical application in business to achieve objectives more efficiently and cost-effectively. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts, please share them in the comments below. Until our next session, take care and goodbye.